Hello. Today I have a little message. Um, yeah, it's a little bit of a sports thing. Um, in my life, I have enjoyed sports maybe in a different way than maybe most people. I don't know. Like, I always really liked to be involved in it. I never liked to be the spectator. I never liked watching someone else play the sport. I always wanted to be immersed in it and experience it full on. Now, I will say that for most of my life, I have been like competitive, and but I never really played, like, for example, in high school, I did not play competitive sports, although I really loved certain sports, and I kind of wanted to play, but I didn't like I didn't want to commit myself and my time and all of my energy to a team sport. Mostly because I liked the pickup games and things that you do in the neighborhood, where you're just like, they're more, I felt like that was more intimate, and it was more like, it's interactive in a different way, because for one, you had more control over when you play the game, because if you didn't feel like playing, then you could just say, no, I don't want to play, right? But if you're committed on a team, you have to show up. You have to show up to practice. You have to show up to your games. You have to put in all of your energy into this effort to win the game, right? And for me, that was too much of an investment. And so I shied away from team sports or sports in general that required a commitment. I really loved PE gym, in junior high and high school. Well, even in the elementary school, we had PE. I loved that. That was probably the happy medium between a pickup game in your neighborhood and a full-on team sport that you committed to, right? So that was like my comfort zone, I will say. So I loved PE because I get to play those games, and actually got to learn the rules of the game better than just in the neighborhood, because we could kind of make up our own rules there, right? Which I really loved. I loved making up our own rules for the games that we would play in the neighborhood. That was fun. Okay, okay, so this morning, and like I said, I was competitive, but I think what I've come to realize that it's not the competition that I really loved. And as I was feeling this kind of energy this morning, like, and like really feeling what it is that I like about I'll give you an example. Any kind of like sport or game, like, okay, baseball. Okay. What I liked about baseball wasn't really playing the game. I mean, that was fun once in a while, but, and also football. And okay, I'm gonna name the sports that I think have similar thing that I'm talking about that I really enjoyed doing. Okay, so baseball, football, volleyball, tennis, badminton, and what was the other? Ping pong. All of these things, they have that back and forth type movement, you know, where you're playing catch, basically. so I really think that what I love the most about these sports is like the playing catch part. I just liked that interaction of, you know, I catch the ball, I throw you the ball, you catch it, you throw it back to me, like that interaction. And whether or not you were playing with one or several different people where you're passing the ball around, I just really liked that a lot. Like, to me, that was like, I don't know, it was just that movement, that interaction, I don't know, it just felt really good to me. And there didn't have to be like any competition going on during that. It was just an interaction. It was just an exchange of give and take, give and take, give and take. You know, like catch and release, catch and release. Maybe that's why fishing is fun too. Although I don't know. I don't know if I really like the idea of fishing anymore, because I don't know. Even then, when I did it, I felt a little tinge of I'm catching something that's alive, and I feel bad. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I love that synergistic movement, the movement that happens with throwing a ball back and forth. I mean, why do you think people, you know, you get those images of the dad and the son playing ball, you know, playing catch, and like that's like such a stereotype, you know, father-son type moment, but there's some magic in that. I really feel that, and that's exactly what I felt when I would have that kind of interaction with somebody. It didn't have to be like a dad or someone I was like super close to, but that like energetic exchange that would happen with, I don't know, and like you get in the zone, and it just feels, it's soothing. It's almost like a I would say it's almost like a stim, right? Like it's just like, ooh, that energy just is like, I don't know, it's just like flowing, and it just feels so good. I love that. I love that feeling. And I think that's why I don't like to watch other people playing sports, because I'm not feeling that. And also when people are actually playing the game, or when I'm actually playing the game, I can kind of feel a little bit of that, you know, especially the parts of the game where I get the ball and I get to throw it, or I get to catch it. I get a little tiny piece of that feeling, that exchange that I'm talking about, but it doesn't last the whole game, because there's a lot more happening in the game, and there's just all this pressure and this, like, the motivation to, like, compete and to win the game, right? And I don't know, I guess I don't really like that. I thought I did, because, you know, I like the accolades, the pats on the back, the high fives and all that when you score, or when you make a really good play or something. I liked that because, you know, we like attention, right? Like, we want to be noticed. But that pales in comparison to the way that I felt when I could just play catch with somebody. Like, that to me was simple, but yet so fulfilling and so, like, soothing. I'm gonna say that it was soothing to me to play, just play catch, a simple game of catch. Like, I love that so much. And I feel like that's kind of how life is. Like, we're in this big competitive game that, like, doesn't have to be a competition, yet we're playing this game because everybody's trying to win. What are they trying to win? Like, what is there to win? I don't know. But I feel like life can be more simple. It can be a game of catch where we have more intimate interactions that are soothing to our nervous systems, and there's no competition. There's definitely, like, in a game of catch, you want the other person to catch the ball or to hit the ball back to you if you're, like, playing ping pong or badminton or what was the other one? Volleyball or tennis. You want, like, if you're not playing an actual game and you're just hitting the ball and you want them to hit it back to you. You want to keep that volley going. You want to keep it back and forth because it feels good. And so you're tied into their success as well as your own, because you want to catch it and throw it back, and you want them to catch it and throw it back, and you want that to happen over and over and over again, and you both get the joy, and there is no competition. It's more of a harmony, a synergistic interaction. And I really feel like that's what I love about sports. It's not the competition. I was taught that you need to win the game, but I feel like winning the game is not really winning. I feel like you're losing the essence of why you're playing the game. Why are you playing the game in the first place? You are playing the game because it feels good, and you want the interaction with other people. You want that. And so that's my take on sports. And the energetic take on why I like to be immersed in it and not just a spectator, and also not focused on the competition part of it. Okay, and I feel like that about life. I feel like I want to be immersed in life. I want to feel the connection with everything, with everyone. I want to feel the connection, but I don't want to be in competition. I want to have that flow, that back and forth flow, and maybe even that flow in like a group, like circle thing, where, you know, everybody is just together, and they just want to feel that togetherness, and the peace, and this sense of unity, and belonging. I want to feel that. And I have this image in my mind, and I know I've talked about this movie before. It's the Star Trek Insurrection movie, and in this movie there's a little clip of there's this village of people called, the people are called the Baku, and they are living in the modern world, but they're living on a planet that has a special energy to the planet that is regenerative, and it's healing them, and it's keeping them young. Okay, and they do their lives in a more slow, I would say, indigenous type, you know, like one with the land, and like one with each other, and respecting, and they do apprenticing for like many years, you know, because they don't have that sense of running out of time. There's no competition with time, because for them time does not exist, because they are regenerating all the time. Okay, and so time, it's almost like time doesn't exist for them. Okay, so I would say they're living in heaven of some sort. Anyway, these children play, there's this clip of these children, they're all playing together, and they have like, I don't know if it's a ball, it might be like a hacky sack type thing, or, you know, something of that sort, where they're in a circle. There's about, I don't know, maybe 10 kids, and they're in a circle, and they are just like playing with this ball, this thing that they're tossing and kicking and doing all these like cool things around to each other, and nobody's dropping the ball. Like, it's like they're really good at it, because they've learned how to, it's almost like they've become so synchronized with each other that they're able to detect the next move, and they've gotten so good at it. But there's no competition happening. Everybody is working together, and they just want, you know, they're just feeling each other and enjoying that moment of togetherness, and, you know, kicking, throwing, hitting the ball around the circle. And it's just, if you haven't seen that movie, you should watch the movie, but like go and watch that scene that I'm talking about. It's amazing. I don't know if I'll put a clip of it in this video. I don't really like to do that, but it's called Insurrection, Star Trek Insurrection. You really should watch it. There's so many things in that movie, so many little things to dig up in that movie. But yeah, like, that is how I see life, and that is how I see our interactions, the potential of our interactions. We don't have to compete for resources. We don't have to compete for attention. We don't have to compete for anything, because we interact in a way that is like in flow, in the natural essence of the universe, you know, we flow in love and unity, and like it's bliss. It feels so good. It feels so natural. It feels so, you know, there's none of this, there's none of that, you know. Yeah, I know that's possible. I know that is possible. And I know that's possible because I know how I feel when I play a game of catch with somebody or with a bunch of people. I know how that feels, and it just feels, it feels good. It feels natural. It feels, it that's that frequency of everything. Like I'm home. Like I feel like, yeah, this feels good to me. This feels like home. So I want more of that. I really want more of that in life. Yeah. So hope you guys have a beautiful day.